Hi all, I'm Matt Farrell, the Renegade Banker, and today I want to quickly jump on the whiteboard and have a chat with you about the shape of the economic recovery. This week, GDP figures were released for the March quarter and we have a forecast for the June quarter. Now, we've had a general slowdown and a shutdown of specific industries, and this is going to have a contractionary effect. Okay, so I've just created this chart here. Along the bottom is time. This is the year 2020, quarters 1, 2, 3 and 4. And up the side here is activity and output. So GDP is a measure of economic activity. And these are the results. Okay, so the actual result for the March quarter was minus 0.3%, which is pretty good, and it compares well with other nations. In that quarter, we were affected by the fires and we were starting to feel the effects of an economic shutdown. But the more staggering figure is the forecast for the June quarter, where essentially we have the full effects of the economic shutdown and a serious contraction in economic activity. The forecast is for a contraction of minus 8%. So it's a really big hit to the economy, to businesses, households and individuals. Now, whether this slide continues or not is all speculation. In fact, the shape of the economic recovery is all speculation. These are the different models or shapes of economic recovery that people are talking about. First one is the L shape. With the L shape, essentially we have a contraction, it's pretty deep. We bump along with very low growth for a very long time. The other type of shape of recovery is the V. Looks like this. So with this kind of recovery, the economy springs back to life really rapidly and in a really strong way. Commentators are also talking about the W-shaped recovery. It looks a bit like this. We have a contraction, we have some kind of recovery. However, it's a false recovery. There needs to be further restructuring, reorganisation before an established and sustainable recovery. Now, we've had this serious contraction and the government has rightly prioritised the health and well-being of the citizens of Australia. At the same time, it's also trying to support those in need. So it's launched a bunch of initiatives. The JobKeeper program, the preferential job seeker. Banks are also offering home loan pauses. And the idea here is to slow the contraction and trigger a recovery as quickly as possible. So we're seeing a number of support measures here. However, many of these initiatives do have a sunset date, and September is lining up as quite a serious month in 2020. A couple of things are happening. Up to 6-month home loan pauses may roll off, so banks may be less flexible at that point and will need to start working with their clients. The preferential job seeker arrangements are intended to come off, and the JobKeeper program is meant to conclude. Okay, so we've had this contraction here, and we've had a number of support measures put in place to cushion the economy and assist. This might result in a H-shaped recovery, which looks a bit like this. We have a contraction, we have support through to the third quarter, and then unfortunately we resume a contraction until we find a floor and we actually start a true and sustainable recovery. Now, how this recovery looks, no one really knows, and again, it's all speculation. It could be weak, could be moderate, could be strong. Everyone is hoping for a strong and swift recovery, and everyone is working together, collaborating and working hard to make this so. I think we're going to see a moderate recovery, and the reason for that is that this economic shock has forced people to think about how they spend their money. So for business, these decisions include matters of investment. What are you going to invest in? What initiatives are you going to run? Which lines of business do you need to close off or start? And also the employment arrangements that line up with that. For an individual, This relates to decisions around spending. So how much money do you invest in property or a new property or an investment property? How much money do you spend for discretionary items, so holidays, nights out, entertainment and the like? So I think people are going to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more conservative, and this is completely the rational thing to do at this stage. So look, I hope you find that helpful. It's really useful to see the likely shape of the recovery and then to consider how you might fit in within the general recovery. Of course, if you have any questions or you want to discuss this, or if you need some help, then don't hesitate to reach out. Till next time, take care.